Hey you guys, welcome back to Crazy Quilting Crafts with SEK. Alright you guys, I was able to complete my block, the Diamond Star block, which is block 1 from the BarnStar sampler book. You guys, also, let me throw this in real quick before I start talking about this block. I used a fat quarter bundle, and this is the fat quarter bundle called Homestead, and the designer is April Rosenthal of Perry Grass Patterns. And the reason why I use this is because if you guys are not familiar with me from my other channel, I am a homesteader, and I did love all of these beautiful colors that was in this fat quarter bundle, so that's the reason why I went with it. I can't wait to get into more of these vibrant colors. I enjoy looking at these more than I did the first block, which is the Diamond Star. So you guys, I'm going to start calling myself the block savior, because when I tell y'all I could finagle and figure out ways to save a block, and this one definitely taught me a lot. This was definitely one of my most challenging blocks that I've ever done. Y'all know Essie is a big block gal. I am a big block gal. So this here was very challenging. It taught me a lot. It slowed me down, even though I started to rush because I got excited with my first corner blocks, which I thought was correct. And then I realized that they were so wrong, you guys. They were so doggone wrong. And you couldn't tell me they was right. But then there was this part of me that said something, they wasn't looking right. And I did a short, and I think I had posted a video talking about them, but they were so wrong. So you guys, the first 4 blocks that you have to build are your corner blocks. So these were totally wrong. So I had to take out all 4 blocks, this row right here, and I had to turn them all the way around, and I had to resew each 4. So your block is supposed to come out to be about 24 by 24. Mine came out to be 22 by 22 because I had to do a lot of finagling, and I lost 2 inches from taking out my blocks. And also, you guys, uh, your middle blocks are your flying geese blocks. This was my first time doing flying geese, and it took me a minute to understand the placement. Also, I had a challenging time bringing those points together, but overall, you can't see them from this far back. Now, the quilt police can see it, and if they're up close, they definitely will take off points. But like I said, I was determined to get this block done. Now, when I made my errors, and I know I'm not the only person that do this, you can get discouraged, and they will go in the pile of I'm not doing this today, or I'm not fooling around with this is not my lane, and I'm going to stay in my lane. And y'all know my lane is big blocks, but I want to accomplish this BarnStar sampler quilt. This is my first one, so I am definitely going to try my best to conquer a block a month. And I see why these blocks are a block a month, because I think I stressed in another video that I did cut one day. I organized my cuts with my little alphabeties, and that was the first time me using the alphabeties. So if you guys are not familiar with the alphabeties, make sure y'all look them up. Get them from Fat Quarter Shop. They will help you out tremendously. And another thing that helped me out tremendously too, you guys, is I use my wood. I'm gonna back up and then I'm gonna get it for you guys. I use my clapper. Yes, I did. I used my quilt clapper from So Yeah, and this saved me too. This helped me get these blocks flat, them seams, because like I said, I had to rip these things apart. I had loose threads everywhere. I had to continue to shave off, keep it as squared up as I possibly can. And when I tell y'all, I hurry up and ran to my clapper, and I used this. So, and a lot of starch. I had to do a lot of little tugging. The fabric did give in certain areas, which I was so happy that it did. So again, Mine came out 22 by 22, but the actual size should be 24 by 24. So let's talk about these blocks. These are the ones that came out wrong. So I had to do all of these over, turn them around, re-sew them, and re-square them. So in some of these areas, these points was so, I was so proud of these points, you guys. Look at there. This one came out very, very nice. This one up here came out very nice. The points are really sharp here. Over here, errors. This, I'm going to start calling this drowning. You see how I drowned my points here in this seam? This is what the quilt police will take off points for right there. See that? Now, let's talk about your middle blocks, the flying geese. First time doing flying geese, you guys, and I have a lot of learning to do when it comes to these flying geese. As you can see, my points did not come in. So I have to figure out how to get them as close as possible. I believe I should have went in probably a 1/4 inch more, or yeah, more, some kind of way. So I have to learn how to do my flying geese much better. But I think my top one I was able to get. Not too bad. Probably a hair off, but not too bad, right? This is the block that I did butcher. I butchered this block so bad that I wanted to give up, but I said, no, I'm not going to give up. I wind up cutting off my flying geese, and I didn't cut it properly, so I had to sew it back together. As you can see, I sewed that bad boy back together. I said, nope, I'm not going to lose this block. I worked too hard. I'm going to get this whole block complete. So I sewed it back together. All right, you guys, let's talk about the square and the square. So I usually do the square and the square the cheating way. I don't know if I did a video on that, you guys. I will do a video on how to do a square and a square the cheating way. Now, I was tempted to do it, but then I said, no, I have to learn this technique. So I was very proud on how this came out, how I was able to coordinate the colors, because I went totally different from the book with as far as color placements. So I love the way the middle of this square on square came out. Now I do have some drowning points in this as well, over here and over here, but in here this came out like perfect. So that's why I was really proud of the square on square here. But once I got to the third step, this is where my errors came in. Plus, what I was trying to do with the finagling is try, I don't know why I was more concerned about this point right here, but I probably should have been more concerned about the gray point, trying to meet that. But I had to shave off in order to keep my blocks unison. And I think my blocks wind up being like 8 inches instead of 8.5. That is correct. So when it comes to the star part of the indigo, those came out so sharp. I did do a lot of finagling over here to make sure I get these points in there. And I'm really proud of those points, because I had to shave off probably about a 1/2 inch of this fabric up here, and then a 1/2 inch down here, in order to get all of my blocks unison. So that's where I lost a lot of my inches on building this block. And again, mine came out 22 by 22. The book requires 24 by 24. But now what I have to do is figure out a way to continue to build my blocks and add them on to where they're kind of lining up the way the pattern